Alright, we're back. Loud ads need to die. Sorry about that. I do not control the volume of the ads, unfortunately. Welcome to Krile, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much here save that. But please, make yourself at home. Your companion's already been talking to everyone. Feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us can tell you about our gods, but you could do worse than to start with Kanga and old Hasveda. They're free at the moment, as it so happens. This man just volunteering his buddies. You want to know about our gods? What a curious visitor you are. Most want fish. In any case, I'm happy to oblige. Now, I don't know how it is whence you hail, but our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into two groups. The Minutia, beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Murga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. Together, they are divinities. Their forms and personalities many and varied. Some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All are possessing of great insight and experience. And by heeding their teachings, we strive to be better people and live better lives. Interested in learning about our gods, you say? That's what I like to hear. Prick up your ears then and listen. In ancient times, the Minutia and the Murga deities, who look like men and beasts respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually, seeking the wisdom of the Minutia, the Murga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Minutia coveted the might of the Murga, and so they too resolved to trade heads. Thus were born new gods possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. From then on, as a sign of their esteem for one another, the Minutia have worn animal faces, and the Murga the limbs of men. The limbs of men, you say? There you are. Learned a thing or two about our gods, I trust. While you were off talking to the others, I remember something that may be of interest. If you can let your friends know, I'll go and fetch it from my home at once. You could say these gods were heroes. Heroes of might. I don't know about that. Apologies for the wait. I wish to show you this hanging scroll, which depicts 3 of our most revered deities. By all means, we should like to see it. Well, they certainly look familiar to me. They are Minutia. You heard about them already, yes? 3 sisters. The center one is the eldest, Cinderuva, a goddess of wisdom. For this, alchemists behold her, or hold her in the highest. To her right is the middle sister, Senderuva. As a goddess of wealth, she counts many traders among her followers. And on the left is Minderuva, the youngest sibling. She presides over the crafts and is so beloved by weavers. On the right cell? No. Although each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, for each which people keep in their homes for good fortune. In like fashion to the Minutia, the deities of the Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life, and what of the Murga, if I may ask? The Murga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have occasion to visit our temples and ruins, you'll find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses a Gaja's head, and he is venerated as the progenitor of the Arca Sedora. And then there are dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. You worship dragons too? It is said that an ancestor of the satrap, the ruler of Razadhan, forged a covenant with a dragon divinity in ancient times. This divinity has since acted as the guardian deity of the satrap. Legend holds that if ever the satrap is in need, the dragon ally will fly to his aid. Dragon ally. You claim to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. The passion you bear for your faith is plain to hear. I am confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. Sorry, guys. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. I'll pray for your success. Right. I believe it's time we sought out Krile's acquaintance. An alchemist by the name of Nidana. According to Krile's notes, we're to find her at a place called the Great Work, further north along the coast. Are these dragons you found in a dungeon? No. Perhaps we have heroes of might and magic, and Dungeons and Dragons. The Great Work. Did you say you're going to see Nidana? Oh, how I envy you. She's brilliant and beautiful, kind and understanding. And did I say she's beautiful? Huh. I could stare at her dainty ears and adorable trunk all day. And those eyes! When you meet her, take care you don't drown in them. I think he has the feelings for Nidana. Be back later. No, Vector, you're supposed to stay and hang out with us. If you could play as an elephant, you'd play FF14? Alas, the Matanga are not a playable race, or the Arcasadora as they're called in this land. Probably for the best too, because the devs are super lazy about getting gear on the more recent races. Like, they don't, when they make hats, they don't make them for the Hrothgar and Viera to bear to wear. Well, this is less than ideal. Well, I don't need to imagine it too much. Those are actually in the game.
What happened here?
Their dress marks them as alchemists. I see no evidence of injury or poison.
Thinkest thou they but slumber?
I believe so. Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
Oh, we have guests. You must excuse the poor welcome. Long days and longer nights have taken their toll, as you can see. I am Vashan, servant to the satrap. My task was, in fact, to wake these good men and women, if you will allow. People of the Great Work, I come bearing new scales.
Scales? We have new scales?
Yes, my friends. Gather round. I have them right here.
Oh, happy day. Now I can continue my experiment.
Many thanks.
One for me.
Those are dragon scales.
Yes, such materials are vital to their most pressing research.
And we are fortunate to have them. Our experiments are so close to bearing fruit. Soon we will have a talisman capable of nullifying the etheric emissions from that accursed tower. Did I say something wrong? Are you not here with Varshan? Wait, who are you people? Of course! You're the one Krile sent. The warrior of light we've been waiting for.
Oh, this is a day of celebration. Praise be to Cinderova!
The winds have shifted. I feel it. The end to our toil is near.
I feel it too. My head hasn't been this clear in days.
Tell me, how did you acquire those scales?
Curious that it concerns you so. But worry not. They were freely given by the dragon with whom our satrap has forged a lawful pact.
That is well.
You must be quite familiar with Dragonkin, yes?
Is this their congealed blood I see on your weapon?
Speaking of dragon blood, you yourself have been infused with it, have you not? I should like to draw a file or two, if so. Now, see here. Come along, come along. I must insist that you visit our laboratory.
Cease your shoving, or so help me.
Oh dear, your poor companion. What with the new scales and your timely arrival, my colleagues are a little giddy with excitement. No harm will come to him, I promise. Meanwhile, shall we find a quiet place to talk? As you may have guessed, I am Nidana, the alchemist who sent the request to your mistress Krile. We have workshops across the nation collaborating on this research project. But it is here, at the great work, where I collate our results. Come with me, all of you, and I can explain the crux of the situation.
Anyway, the music you were hearing there was the theme of the city of Razadhan. Might as well attune to this. But yep. Fortunately, our Estinian has been taken away to be probed and prodded. Allow me to thank you for answering our call. Many towers have appeared around the world, and we are grateful that you would assist with ours. Though Krile herself is tied up with another investigation, Miro is an eminently capable substitute, and we will spare no effort to aid you. So, if I understand correctly, you seek to take the talismans that can nullify etheric emissions. Indeed we do. As you know, the tower emits vast concentrations of ether. One cannot go anywhere near it without being tempered. As such, we can only study the tower from afar, and are powerless to deal with it in any consequential way. In order to strike back, the Startrap Belas alchemists create enchanted talismans, talismans that will allow our soldiers to venture into the tower, even should they lack innate protection. Could such a thing be possible? Admittedly, we are still in the midst of testing, but we are quite confident. Even prior to this, our people have long pursued countermeasures against the etheric corruption of primals. Of the methods tested to date, those utilizing dragon scales prove the most promising. Owing to their etheric density, the scales are highly resistant to disruptive forces. The mightier the dragon, the greater the resistance. We seek to amplify this protective property through our alchemy. Thanks to the scales provided by His Excellency, we have been able to make steady progress with the talisman. Soon we will be ready to conduct a field test, and here's where you and your blessing of light comes in. Whatever it is, just leave it to me. What exactly is it you need me to do? Better than having my blood drawn, I suppose. Haha, perhaps so. And knowing my colleagues, they won't be satisfied with blood alone. But as for your task, we ask only that you serve as an escort. Wait, did she just say they want, like, other fluids from him? Like, his vitreous humor? I'll explain in greater detail later, but you will be venturing into the tower's field of influence. And so, for your own safety, I would first test how well your blessing shields you. With your permission, of course. In that case, Oriandre and I will find other ways to make ourselves useful. Seeing as you all work to a point of collapse, I suspect you could do with more hands. We would be grateful for any assistance you can provide. Mini cat. If you're ready, then let us put your blessing to the proof. If you exit the Great Worth and work to the south, there will be a hill to the right. I will meet you at the top after seeing to some preparations. The fear in that man's eyes was glorious. There's very few things that can make Estinians scared, and apparently, Alchemist is one of them. Here you go, so. Hey, did you ever worry that you might be excessively shitting and not realizing it? I hope you didn't have trouble finding this place or climbing the hill. Not all are accustomed to the physical strain. I give you the fruit of our sweat, tears, and many a sleepless night, the drunken Deepa. A Deepa is a lantern presented to the gods as an offering. Taking inspiration from the tradition, we created this device to test the talisman's efficiency. Upon activation, it will move a certain distance before emitting a powerful blast of ether. In lieu of corruption, those lacking sufficient protection will experience severe ether sickness. For your test, you will be exposed 4 times. That should be enough to ascertain your blessing's protective capability. Please begin whenever you're ready. I shall observe from a safe distance. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat, commencing etheric exposure testing. Retreat to a safe distance if you are not the subject. I'm not gonna follow it. Okay. This lantern is just jumping. Oh, if you were excessively shitting, you'd know. Trust me on that one. I trust you, but would you be concerned if you weren't aware of it? Readying ether, please stand back. Fucking far back do I have to go? Warning! Discharging ether. You were struck by a powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Subject has no irrepressible urge to empty their stomach. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Discharging ether. You're struck by another powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. I mean, yeah, but I'd be worried if I was doing anything excessively without realizing it. Yeah, but the shitting is the worst one because then you might accidentally be summoning payment and not realizing it. You're struck by yet another powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. The blessing of light appears to keep you safe from harm. Subject fortitude rated impressive. No irregularities confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow and brace for final discharge. Yeah, 10 gauge. Please follow me and brace for final discharge. You were struck by the strongest blast of ether yet, but survived completely unscathed. Etheric exposure testing concluded. Please collect and deliver me to the surprising alchemist. Congratulations on maintaining your composure and your humors. Wait, my humors were at risk? That's concerning. Ah, you've returned! And not on your knees. A promising sign. But come, let me take the deeper off your hands. Thank you. I shall remember this ether when we test the talisman. So, no dizziness or nausea or anything of the sort? You are feeling perfectly fine? And the strength of your blessing is beyond doubt. There is no risk that the tower will corrupt your ether. With this, we can request your aid for the task at hand with easy hearts. Shadowed footsteps. You're a capable warrior too, are you not? Would you be amenable to assisting me with another errand? You see, our talisman requires the use of a special ink. But we have exhausted our stores of the key ingredient for it, spiritweed. Her herb grows not far from here, and I would like to go harvest some, but the recent spate of kidnappings, however, we Arkastor travel alone at our peril. Will you not come with me as my escort? I would compensate you for your troubles, of course. I'm in your debt. Without further ado, let us head to Kaja's footsteps. It's situated on the road which runs east of the Great Book. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, da, ba, 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 ba. Hey look, hamsters. They're like dodos. They're called hamsters. I like hamsters. 10 gauge? What's it like to be 10 gauge? Like, in a world where people look down on being 10 gauge, does that upset you? I don't know. I may simply be imagining it, but I feel as though we're being followed. Look out, Miro! Oh, look, it's these guys. Kids can't fuck with Carbuncle. Gods, but that gave me a fright. To think that the moment I ventured outside to the safety of the work. Thank you, sisters. I asked you to come with me. You're all right, I hope? Good, good. Let's continue on then. It isn't far now. Just through these pillars and up the rise. Damn Empire, always showing up to fuck on me. Like, it needs to not do that. Welcome back, Vector. We're working on a way to protect people from getting tempered from the towers. The towers being that guy right there. That one is called the Tower of Zod. I don't know if that's if that means anything to you, but there's a carbuncle over there. That thing is called a Pisica. And here we are, Kadja's footsteps. Kadja was a great dancer, and those who follow in her, well, you know, they come to this place to train and dedicate their dance to their ancestors. A happy benefit of this is that spirit weed grows here in abundance. I will set about harvesting it once. It would do you, it would be so good to stand guard. The kidnappers aren't like to return soon, but better to safe than sorry. What do you mean they're not like to return soon? You don't know what the kidnappers, you know what they're doing. Unless, of course, you're working with the kidnappers. Alright. Mini Cat! Oh man, she is passed out on the couch. She is having a good day.
Yes, that would be Radzad Khan. Hardly anyone has been allowed in or out since our troubles with the tower began. The faithful citizens huddle inside the city walls, and commerce has all but ground to a standstill. I pity the satrap, the trials he must be facing.
What can you tell me of the satrap?
Well, he is the most important person in Radzad Khan. Long ago, this island was home to two tribes of Matanga, the Gajasura and the Arkasodra. When the Aura came to these shores, it was the Arkasodra with whom they joined forces. Together they defeated the warlike Gajasura, forcing them to flee Thavnair altogether. Peace and prosperity reigned for a time, until a clan of Hjor from the mainland decided they wanted the island for themselves. It was a direct ancestor of the present satrap who arbitrated that conflict and welded the warring factions into the nation we know today. And ever since, a member of that esteemed lineage has inherited this somewhat unique position. You see, by and large, the state is run by the people, but when problems arise, it is the satrap who mediates a solution. The stability provided by the satrap is what has allowed Radzad Khan to thrive all these years. And it was the satrap himself who entrusted us with this duty. We will not fail him, nor our countrymen.
What is the delay with the vessel? I told you I need to adjust those ratios. I come all this way to admire one of my splendid towers, and what do I find? Fools attempting to ward off its tempering influence with magic trinkets. I seem to recall a similar experiment in ages past. What was that man's name? Oh, something. Owen?
Another body, another time. Who could be expected to remember every trivial detail? Allowing them to construct such handy talismans would be counterproductive to my plans. And yet, I find myself deathly curious. How will they manage this feat with the limited knowledge and resources at their disposal? Complications be damned, for we cannot escape the nature of our souls. And I, as ever, am my own worst enemy.
All right. I have enough spirit weed to last us a good while. Thank you for keeping watch. Let us head back to the Great Work, shall we? Alright, we'll tub up back there and take a break. Who Daniel was talking about is somebody we actually did interact with briefly, kind of. If you recall, when we were seeking a cure for tempering, we found a work from an Allegan researcher named Owen. That's who he was referring to. Which does imply that Owen is, how do we say, or that Fandaniel was around during that time. Still, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and continue on through Radza 10, guys. Or Thavnir.